Welcome, everyone. Today's a bit of a special one. Elko, who's the SVP of Sales for Nuvei, has joined us for a live interview. Thank you for coming, Elko.
Thank you, Manoy, for having me.
Could you please give a bit of an introduction to yourself and Nuvei?
Sure. So Ilko Dettingmeijer, like you introduced. I've been in payments for the past 10 years. I'm living in Belgium, originally Dutch, and I've joined Nuvei back in December of 2020 to be their Senior Vice President for Sales, which effectively means that I look after all the different commercial teams in Europe and Middle East. Nuvei itself as a business, we've been around since 2003, so close to 20 years. Founded and still managed by Phil Fayer. In those 20 years, we've grown to a company that now employs 1,400 people worldwide. We got offices on each continent, and we work with some of the largest global e-commerce businesses.
All right, so I thought we'd talk a little bit about the industry itself. Can you tell me what kind of trends you're seeing?
Within payments, there's quite a few main trends that are happening at the moment. Most of it is, of course, driven by consumer behavior. I think payments in many ways is something that happens in the background, and the most successful businesses make payments as frictionless as possible. So one of the main trends is that consumers demand payments to be frictionless, fast and reliable. And that's something that we see happening increasingly across the globe and in all different sectors at the moment.
All right, so when it comes to this shifting expectation that you see within the industry, can you tell me a bit more on where things are headed?
Yeah, sure. So where it's heading, there's always a sort of conflicting forces when it comes to regulation, security on the one hand, and then ease of use on the other hand. And I think more and more through technology, people are actually able to have a very frictionless payment experience while still complying with all the regulations that are in place around strong customer authentication, around device recognition, for example. So whether it's in the parking space or whether it's when you're consuming media, for example, I think it's definitely a massive trend that each consumer finds an easy way to pay for things.
All right, so when it comes to the ease of payments, where does Nuvei come into play here in terms of making it better for both the end users and the ones using the parking in the end?
Nuvei is not a consumer brand, right? So we are very much the company behind the scenes that is empowering businesses to allow consumers to pay in a frictionless way. And it's a combination of financial services, so our licenses, our registrations with some of the regulatory bodies, but mainly technology. So we allow our customers to utilize Nuvei technology to sit in the background of their payment and e-commerce experience to handle, for example, card data or tokenization, making sure that when a consumer returns to you and returns to your service, that they don't need to go through a whole sign-up or authentication process again. It gets recognized automatically, it gets sort of validated in the background through our risk screening services, and then they can use the service without any manual interference.
And so, what about other trends then? What about EV charging? Is that something that Nuvei is also involved with?
Yeah, very much so. I think EV charging and also linked to parking, it's something that we have seen take in a massive growth over the past 4 to 5 years. It's a combination of manufacturers making a play into the space, doing acquisitions sometimes. The recent acquisitions from Mercedes and BMW, for example. But also the more traditional businesses around energy providers, for example, so providers of the grid. Where Nuvei plays a role is making sure that whether it's through physical terminals or whether it's through charging stations itself, or in some other cases, whether it's your car recognizing a geolocation where you are and sort of paying for the service, making sure that that happens in the background. So we partner either directly or through one of our ISVs or payment partners with many different companies in that space.
So then are you talking about connected cars? Is this something that's very prevalent within the industry as well?
Connected cars is something that I'm really excited about, sort of from a personal point of view. I'm very much interested in what my car can do for me in terms of making reservations or linking arrival times to check-in in a hotel, for example, and around parking, finding me that spot in a specific city. A lot of those technology elements are not part of Nuvei because that's where a lot of really smart and well-established businesses have made their business. Where we can play a role is on the payment side of things. So whether you link your credit card to your car manufacturer account, or whether you have your bank account linked to a parking subscription, making sure that that payment happens, and it's usually instant, that's where Nuvei plays an important role.
And I thought another trend that we would talk about is cryptocurrencies, because I know that Nuvei is also involved with that.
Very much so, on different sides of the scale, to be honest. So crypto as an industry. So traditionally we process for a lot of large crypto exchanges where there is some conversion from fiat to crypto or crypto to fiat. That's where Nuvei is sort of the go-to party when it comes to providing those services. Then in addition, we're doing a lot of research, development, and also product launches where crypto has either a application in currency conversion, so where we use it to allow for faster and more cost-efficient ways of converting different currencies, as well as distribution purposes. So I think crypto is still very much in its infancy, so we're starting to see very interesting applications, and Nuvei as a business is very interested in taking a sort of a thought leader role in all of that.
Talking about currencies, I mean, Nuvei is quite a global company, and you have quite a big involvement in different areas. Could you tell me about that?
Yeah, so Nuvei and also our customers and the customers of our customers are very much global by nature. I think what the pandemic has told us is that you can have a business anywhere in the world and go out, market, and address the entire world with your products or services. And that's where Nuvei comes in. So we help our customers to reach their customers, which is today we do that through over 500 different payment methods. We offer over 150 different local currencies. And on top of that, we also offer a wide variety of cryptocurrencies as sort of payment acceptance. So when you have a shop and you want to offer your product to individuals, you can make sure they get their own currency presented, first and foremost, in their own language. But they can also have the possibility to pay with crypto, which is something that is fairly new and has been really successful.
All right, so we talked a lot about now trends within the industry and also Nuvei's involvement in them. Where do you see the future then for the company? What's really coming?
The payments industry as a whole has seen spectacular growth over the last years, or the last decades, I should say. Where it's coming from has shifted. So traditionally, the more well-established markets were always high growth when it comes to e-commerce. That has all shifted to markets like Southeast Asia, Latin America. So I think there will be a lot more for us to grow in those geographies. And then when it comes to markets, to loop back to what we said before, the whole frictionless element of payments, I feel that's where Nuvei really differentiates itself and should see quite spectacular growth over the upcoming years.
Fantastic. Then, yeah, wish you all the best with this coming growth for the company. And yeah, is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, outside of that, I really want to thank you for this opportunity. It's been very nice being here in your beautiful office, and I look forward to see you again.
Thank you as well for joining today.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining as well, and make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.